Hello everybody, this is Kyle Ott for Draft Radio coming at you live with yet another M15 draft, and we actually have a really good pack to start us off with. There's a Devouring Light, we've got a Paragon of Eternal Wilds, Hornet Queen, Flesh to Dust, Child of Night, Borderland Marauder. I think the three best cards are the Hornet Queen, the Flesh to Dust, and the Devouring Light. I think I'm going to take Hornet Queen though. Six mana worth of, or 7 mana for 6 flying, death touch, power, and toughness. It seems pretty good. I mean, triple green is pretty rough to get there. But if we get some Elvish Mystics or some Verdant Havens, I don't think that I mind taking this. So we'll see what happens. Ooh, and a Kurd Chieftain to follow it up. I love Kurd Chieftain. Card is a workhorse, man. Yeah, there's really nothing else in the pack that's as good as Kurd Chieftain, I don't think. There's a Gravedigger, an Oresco Swiftclaw, Wall of Mulch, none of which are as good as Kurd Chieftain. And so Kurd Chieftain is what we shall take. Doesn't seem to be any good green, which is sad. The best card in the pack is Furnace Whelp, and I think that's what we're going to be taking. There's also a Necrobite and an Aeronaut Tinkerer, plus an Amphin Path Mage up for consideration. There's also one Crust, too, but we'll take the Furnace Whelp. Well, sadly, the green appears to have dried up almost completely. There is an Inferno Fist, and I think that's what we're going to be taking here. Inferno Fist is a solid card and a nice little conditional removal spell. I do like Gargoyle Sentinel quite a bit, especially in red-green when you don't get too many flyers, but we don't even know if we're going to be in green or not. So we'll take the Inferno Fist and cut red. I think that's the plan that we want to do. Alright, now this is interesting. There's still a Roaring Primodox in the pack, and Primodox is a card that I like quite a bit, especially with our Hornet Queen. I mean, can you imagine that? Just returning Hornet Queen and getting it over and over and over and over again, but I haven't seen too much in the way of good green. However, Borderland Marauder is a phenomenal 2-drop, so I think that's what we're going to be taking. There's also Scrapyard Mongrel and a Hammerhand, but I think Borderland Marauder is just the safer pick. Ooh. I mean, I do like Dauntless River Marshal, but only if you're in white-blue. Child of Night is good, Rummaging Goblin is good, but nothing's as good as Heat Ray. So Heat Ray is what we're taking. That's a really late Shadow Cloak Vampire. Shadow Cloak Vampire is probably the best black common in the set, I would venture to say. It's either this or Flesh to Dust. Sign in Blood is also up for consideration in that regard, but I think the Vampire takes it. We could either take Shadow Cloak Vampire or go for Blast Firebolt, and I think we'll go for Blast Firebolt. I want another removal spell, and I don't want to commit to a second color just yet. But if we getting past, okay, so Shadow Cloak Vampire it is. One of these days, I won't be in black for a draft. I swear. I'll take Bronze Sable here. Necrobite is fine, but I'd rather just have another relevant 2-drop. Although, how am I doing on 2-drops? No, I want a 2-drop. Necrobite's fine, but... No, I can grab Witch's Familiar and shore up my 3-drop slot, or I can grab Tyrant's Machine in case I get any Scrapyard Mongrels. I think it's just better to get a Witch's Familiar for the 3-drop slot. Ooh, Crowd's Favor is a relevant combat trick. I'll take the best card in the pack, which is Path Mage, then Hammerhand, which I actually could play, and then Act on Impulse. Sure, that seems fine. Not bad. So far, our red looks pretty strong. We could be in black, we could still be in green. Kurd Chieftain's not terrible though. Holy crap, that's a Garrick. Alright, cool. Now this is great, because if we're in red-green, we can splash for Garrick, and if we're in red-black, we can splash for Garrick. Yeah. Garrick wins games, man. The other cards in the pack that are worth talking about, however, just so you guys know when you're drafting for what to look for what's good. The Wall of Essence is fine, Venom Sliver, Borderland Marauder, Willforged Golem, and Raise the Alarm. All good cards, but ain't none of them Garrick Apex Predator. Am I right? The best card in this pack is probably Elvish Mystic. I mean, I like Gargoyle Sentinel, but Elvish Mystic's pretty insane. There's also a second Blast Firebolt, which I think I might want a second Blast Firebolt at some point, but I'll take that Mystic. Makes getting to Garrick that much easier. It also makes getting to Hornet Queen that much easier if I still want to play red-green. There's a Gravedigger, which is the second best card in the pack, Heat Ray being the first, and Heat Ray is what I will be taking. So, I will also be taking this Lightning Strike. There's some other good stuff. Forge Devil's fine, Welcome Turn is really good, but we're not in blue. Black Cat is okay, but Lightning Strike is what we're taking. 2 mana for 3 damage to any target we want at instant speed is just too good. Oh, man. I'm going to Hide Act on Impulse and Hammerhand. I don't know if I necessarily even want those yet. I'd like to see like an Evolving Wilds. I'll just take the second Blast Firebolt here. Ooh, my Gargoyle Wield. That's good. I like Gargoyle. Keeps me out of my colors. I can take the Naturalize for the sideboard, or I can choose to commit to maybe black and get this Shadow Cloak Vampire. Although almost all of me just wants to grab Rough Riders. Yeah, we'll grab Rough Riders. I like grabbing cheaper stuff. I don't know if I'm in red. I still don't know if I'm in red and green or not. Like the number of good red cards we have is insane, and I just don't mind wafting this long. We will take a Charging Rhino though. No, we'll take a Krenko's Enforcer. I like to be able to know what I'm getting myself into. Well, Raise the Alarm is still in the pack, and that's a shame, because Raise the Alarm is a phenomenal white common, especially in a set with so much Convoke and at instant speed. But we'll take a Zoffshade, in case we are going to be playing red-black. I'll take a third Blast Firebolt here. There's nothing else that I want. Black Cat is fine, as is Crowd's Favor. Although I guess I could take Hammerhand, but I mean, that depends. Do I want Hammerhand or Crowd's Favor? I think I want Crowd's Favor. I didn't get like a Broodkeeper or something that I really want the enchantments with. Alright, and we wheeled an Unmake the Graves. So we're wheeling good black playables. Green I think is definitely cut at this table, so I'm going to cut these cards. Which is fine, you know. I don't mind being in red-black. We wheel the Forge Devil too. I mean, we're wheeling nothing but playables, which is phenomenal for us, you know. So, not bad, not bad. Ooh. This is tough. I can take a Goblin Rabblemaster. There's a Broodkeeper in the pack. There's a Lightning Strike. Broodkeeper I've heard amazing things about. It certainly would make playing this Hammerhand and this Inferno Fist really good. There's also a Flesh to Dust that we could take. Again, Goblin Rabblemaster is up for consideration. And then there's a second Lightning Strike. I don't know if I have enough enchantments to make Broodkeeper good. Someone said that Broodkeeper is a bomb in this format. I forget who it was. Somebody on Star City Games was talking about this card, saying that you should first pick this and build around it as early as possible. I don't know if I agree with that necessarily, but it is really good. There's also an All-Attack Bloodseeker, which I freaking love this card. Yikes. I don't know if Rabblemaster... I think it's between Rabblemaster, Lightning Strike, and Flesh to Dust. And I'll just take the Lightning Strike. Cheaper is better, in my mind. I could go Heat Ray or Stab Wound. Stab Wound is probably better, right? Do I just want to go mono red? No, I don't have enough creatures to go mono red. I'll take the Stab Wound. Hopefully we'll wheel Typhoid Rats. My god. There's so much removal in this set right now. I'll take a second Stab Wound. This is insane. This is absolutely insane. We'll take Willforged Golem here. Ooh, I like Generator Servant. I was going to take Typhoid Rats, but I like Generator Servant because, A, it's going to give us tons of mana for our Heat Rays, for our Blast Fire Bolts, and it's also going to accelerate us out to that Garruk and those other stuff that much faster. So that's what we're taking. Same with Typhoid Rats. I don't mind taking Typhoid Rats to shore up our early game. I could take Borderland Marauder, or I could just hate draft the Triplicate Spirits. I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. Hate drafting is bad. But we'll take Borderland Marauder. Crowd's Favor is fine. However, Necromancer's Assistant is way better as a strong 3-drop. And we wheeled Broodkeeper, huh? Maybe I should have taken that Hammerhand earlier. Those 2 Hammerhands earlier. Then Broodkeeper would be insane. But alas, I did not, and Flesh to Dust is better. So we have a Flesh to Dust. We have 2 Stab Wounds. We have 2 Lightning Strikes, 2 Heat Rays, and 3 Blast Fire Bolts. That seems good. This seems insane. I don't know if I'm actually going to play Garruk or not. I probably won't. I like Necrobite, but we're going to take Typhoid Rats. Early game is important in any set that you do, and Typhoid Rats is one of the best early game cards. Yeah, this is sweet. I don't mind being 10-7 for this at all. I probably won't play Hammerhand then. I probably won't play Zoffshade either, because it appears that black is my secondary color. I can probably cut Black Cat. Oh, we wield a heat ray. Our third heat ray. Excellent. Alright, and Thundering Giant, in case we need a creature. Take Witch's Familiar in case we do another creature. Probably won't play 2 Witch's Familiar, actually, now that I'm looking at this. Well, this is insane. We have so much removal. Holy God. Jesus, man, look at this. 3 Heat Rays, Flesh to Dust, 2 Stab Wounds, 2 Lightning Strikes, 3 Blast Firebolt. My God. We're death. We're literally death. Destroyer of Worlds. Man, oh man, this pack is insane. I'm bummed we didn't get anything to splash for our Garrick, though. It's kind of annoying. I wanted to play Garrick. Still, as cool as Garrick is, and as great as Garrick is, without any Evolving Wilds or like Meteors or Verdant Havens, yeah, it just seems too greedy to splash for it. I mean, I could be completely wrong there, and who knows, maybe I am, but I'd rather have a consistent deck than just have Garrick just chilling out. I could probably cut Inferno Fist, in all honesty, with this sheer amount of removal that we have. Like, Inferno Fist is just conditional at that point. I'll cut one of the Blast Fire Bolts, too. And then I'll cut a Crowd's Favor, and then we'll see where we're at. Oh, it's going to cut all my Blast Fire Bolts. Of course it is. Of course you are. That makes sense. Alright, so we should have 2 Blast Firebolt. So this should be 7. This should be... I don't know why Nimbus of the Isles is in my main board, but it is. This should be 7. This should be 2. So that brings us to 11, and then we have 28, so we got to cut 5. Let's see what we got. Yeah. One of the things that we could do, I think, is we can probably cut our Thundering Giant. Although Thundering Giant can kind of come out of the blue and get him. Let's think about what we want to cut. I can cut Curd Chieftain. As good as Curd Chieftain is, without the forests, he is, to activate the ability, he's simply a 4-mana 3/3. And while I don't mind playing Hill Giants, they're not really what I want to be doing with my life. I can probably cut Forge Devil because we have the 2 Typhoid Rats on the 1-drop slot. My 3-drop slot is a little weak, but I can cut a Witch's Familiar, I think. We just got to remember we got 2 Witch's Familiar in the sideboard. 19, 21, 23. We have 25. I mean, maybe I could cut both of those blast. Well, I can cut. You tell you what. I'm going to cut one Unmake the Graves, and then put my Blast Firebolt back in it, and that's what we'll do. Because obviously, it's what we have to do. The question is, though, how do we make this happen? Alright, so let's put our instance in here. While we're thinking of a good name, I'm going to make sure that we have a good sideboard. We have 1 Unmake the Graves. We have 2 Witch's Familiar. We have a Zoff Shade. We have a Black Cat. What else do we have in our sideboard? A crowd. We have 2 Crowd's Favor, a Hammer Hand, an Act on Impulse. Include basic land, because obviously, you know, you always need to include basic land in case your mana needs to be tweaked in mid-match, or mid-game, I suppose. And we've got 2 Blast Firebolt in the sideboard. One Blast Firebolt in our deck. This seems good. We just need a name. We just need a name. Come on, man. Oh, State of Jank. State of Jank. Which is a phenomenal movie with Russell Crowe in it. And obviously we're going to go 10-7. We're going to do 10 mountains, 7 swamps. Seems smart. And that should be good. State of Jank is ready. Oh, Witch is familiar. I always spell Witch is familiar wrong, and I don't really know why. But I do. Every single time. I spell like it's French, like Witch A is familiar. Alright guys, well we are going to be jumping into round 1. I can't wait to see what our opponent is playing, and I can't wait to see how this deck runs. So I will see you guys in our first match.